Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very interesting unboxing, something coming in from American Edge Knives. Cool little thing that I was able to find that I think you guys will be interested in. I am. Been wanting to check this out for a while. Today I'm opening up with my WE Knives Evoke Ray Laconico design. Beautiful, thin, very ergonomic, elegantly simple but perfectly executed knife that I very much enjoy. I really do like Ray Laconico's design. I love the simplicity. You know, there's times when you want just a really big, crazy, over-the-top knife, but then there's times when you want just a really nice, elegant, simple knife, and Ray Laconico really hits that spot. At least for me, he does. I enjoy his designs. So there we go. All right, I think we are in. So let's take a look at what we got in here. Hopefully I got all the tape. There we go. Make sure there's no receipt. There is. We'll put that off to the side. And what we got here is a Microtech. Let's see what this is. Now notice this is not the Asian Microtech, this is an American-made Microtech. So you know I'm not always a big Microtech OTF guy, but this is not. This is the MSI Orange G10 Stonewash Standard. So let's take a look at this. All right, very cool. It's got the typical packet that you get in here. Nice little things like that. You got all sorts of stuff. I think there's also a sticker in here usually. I thought there was. Usually there's a sticker. Yep, there we are. So that's cool. I like those stickers. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of those that I'm going to rather enjoy, so we'll just keep that all together. All right, caution, caution, sharp edge, inspected by B. All right, now this is orange, and I know some of you guys may not like that color, and I get it. The cool thing about G10 is I always figure I can, at some point, I'm going to put the sticker off to the side so it doesn't focus on there, dye this to a black if I wanted to. But here it is, the MSI. If I wanted to check this out, huge screws. Those look like T8s or T10s. That definitely looks like I want to say that's a T15 or bigger. That's huge. All right, captive pivot. This is the RAM-LOK that they have. Like, see, you even have a little stuff right there. You can feel that edge up there. And then this part right here works like this. Goes back. Back spacer right here. Got a lanyard hole, but not prioritized. Deep pocket carry clip. Definitely super deep, so that's nice. Let's look at the centering. How we're centered. Yeah, we might. Well, if we look at the tip, it looks pretty close to centering. I'm not sure if that edge is exactly the same. Looks like it was hand ground, so one might have a little more of a curve than the other, but that's typical with hand ground. Got a nice wedge here. Everything's rounded. Got some jimping on top here. All right, I know you guys are like, go ahead, open it. We want to see it. All right, so here we go. Okay, all right, so it is a big blade, so let's see. Get my finger in there. All right, so it's definitely one that you want to get your finger in. So let's do that again. All right, there we go. And, all right, let's see here. Okay, it does drop. I suspect it probably needs a little bit of oil, probably a little bit of break-in. Let's see, let's do left-handed. Does work over there as well. Yeah, now it's kind of smooth, slippery, so definitely texture would be helpful, and I can see why they have some curves. Everything is nicely chamfered. You can see that all the way around, chamfering all the way around, so it's no sharp, harsh edges. Even up here is nice. I like that this is rounded. It's always one of my biggest gripes with some knives when they have a really sharp edge and it digs into you. It's always not very comfortable. All right, so here's the, I don't know if you want to call this reverse Tonto Warncliffe modified sheep's foot. It's got a bow to it. It's got a sharp edge, so like you can call it a Warncliffe, sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it. We'll just call it cool, right? And this is the M390 MK, and you know, I've read a lot of different things about it. And I heard somebody say that Laren Thomas talked a little bit about this on Knife Steel Nerves, and supposedly it's supposed to be a little more controlled version of M390, so I'm not sure what that exactly means, but cool. All right, it's definitely breaking in a little bit. That's nicer. So some people talked about it being really soft. Yeah, so now I can see that. All right, so let's watch it closes here. Ready? All right, so it closes in. Any detent lash? I don't know if it's detent lash as much. I suspect we could probably stretch that spring out, make it a little bit tighter. If it's anything like an Omega spring or you know, plunge lock on a button lock. Now see, I got to figure out how to do that. All right, the thumb works really well, right? So thumb is really nice. The reverse lock, you got to make sure you get a good grip up here, and you got to make sure you get your finger in there. Now see, it's probably works a little. My hands are smaller, right? So if you got big hands, this is going to be a nice knife because look, medium to medium large hands. They're large widthwise, medium lengthwise. So I've got, if I go in here and put my 2 fingers here, I've still got plenty of room. So extra large, double extra large hands for sure. If I do the full choke-up position, I mean triple extra large. You could, I think Shaq could probably hold his knife and it'd be fit his hand well. So there you go. I like the edge. It is a flat grind. It's got a nice swedge on top, nicely rounded corners, nothing sharp. In here it's nicely rounded, but still enough for traction. Comes to a fairly thin edge. I mean, it's not a super thin slicer. This is going to be relatively robust. You know, I'm going to guess this is 0.12, 0.14 inches wide when we measure it during our review. But I love the orange. I always love the orange. My first high quality knife was a Benchmade Mini Barrage, which was an assisted. And my son has it now. It was a D2 steel, and it was the Cabela's version, and it was D2 with the orange, the Hunter's orange. It was really nice. So I've always liked orange, quite frankly. I always wanted to have another one. I mean, it just stands out, right? This is a knife that you can't, it's not one that you're going to hold and people aren't going to see. So this is great for hunting. Like if you're needing something, you don't want to misplace your knife. This is great. It's always good hunting type gear. It can definitely stand out. Now, if you're trying to be, you know, not anybody to see it, well, that's different, right? Now, here's a clip. It does come up a little bit. The ramp sticks up quite a bit. Let's see here. If I squeeze down, I can feel a little bit, but it's not sharp, so it's not digging in, but it does stick up quite a bit, right? If I come up here, yeah, it's not too bad. Let's see, is this steel? I'm assuming this is a steel clip. Yeah, it's a steel clip, okay. Titanium backspacer, steel right there. Okay, let's see, how about this liner? Yeah, that's steel too, but that's a titanium backspacer for sure. How about the screws? Yeah, the screws are steel. So there we go. And I think, yeah, that's a titanium insert. I mean, steel insert right there. So it is nice. It's reversible. So notice that lefties rejoice. I do wish these were a little, I mean, they're rounded, so that's nice. You can see that. So it's nice and rounded. It will go over, but gives you limited room. It might catch a little bit, but it does have some flexibility, so that's good. But it is steel, so be aware that you could bend this clip. Hopefully they'll have some aftermarket clips that'll come out eventually at some point, which will be nice because, you know, having aftermarket clips I think would be beneficial. You know, especially if a titanium version, I think that would be really cool. I'm sure somebody already has them, but I don't know yet. And I haven't looked because I never thought I'd get a hold of one of these. I was just surprised this was still available. They had a bunch of serrated ones, and I really didn't want a serrated ones, but then I saw this one. I guess no one saw the orange one, and I like orange, and I know some people don't, but I do, so I was very happy to get a hold of this one. So very cool. Now, I might work on that blade centering. I mean, see, here's the thing. It looks centered. No, it looks a little to the left to me, just a little to the left. And I don't know if that's, you know, let's see, any blade rock? Let's check that. No blade rock. All right. Does have nice drop action. I haven't put any oil in there yet. You know, I might take this apart to clean out the bearings and look at that because I think they're multi-row bearings if I'm not mistaken. Similar to what you have on the Annex and some of the other knives, the SOCOM. But definitely a little to the left. So it's not perfectly centered, but still really cool. I do like that. It's pretty ergonomic. I do like that. And I can always dye this black. I can get some, I was thinking about that because I have a couple of knives that aren't black, and I was thinking of dyeing them black all the way. And I might just do that. But this is cool. Nothing else. I mean, we could do like a stripes on here or something, you know, make it black and orange or something. And try it. I don't know if I don't stick with orange. But still really cool. I do like that. All right, so blade to handle ratio is pretty good. I like that a lot too. That's really nice. Let's see here. Got a sharpening choil. It's not huge, but it's definitely got some room there. Depending on how much you're going to sharpen that blade. It's a pretty robust blade. Now this is a pretty thin edge, and if I look at this edge, it's a little longer here, a little thinner here, so it's looks like you can see this right there. It looks like it was not the perfect edge work right there. That's unfortunate. So at some point I would probably reprofile this edge. This side is more consistent all the way across, but this side is not. So that's unfortunate. That looks like a, I don't know, I can see that somebody slipping because that suddenly goes down like that. But that's all right. We work on that. It's okay sharp. It's not super sharp, I don't think. Probably a little, might reprofile that edge at some point. All right, so it seems like it's breaking in a little bit better now, or I'm just handling it better. It does drop shut, so I do like that. Very cool, very cool. All right, so this is a RAM-LOK. You can see this right here. There's a spring in here, you see that? And you pull this back and that releases it. So you can also do it like, it's kind of like a version of the axis lock, but I believe they patented this. And this is your stop pin. That's interesting. It's got like little lines through it. I think I saw that on the Annex as well. I owned the Annex temporarily. It was just too big of a knife. It wasn't very convenient for what I wanted to use and carry. So this is still a pretty big boy, but this right here fits really nicely and it still makes it a nice blade to work with. And I like the fact that I can choke up if I need to, right? I can come up and do that. Oops. Now it is a little sharp enough there. Caught my finger a little bit, you can see that. So got to be careful, but I can still choke up for a precision cut, which is nice. I do like that. That's cool. Yeah, really nice. All right, so like I said, it's got some jimping back here. So if you're trying to hold it back for like a push cut, like you're cutting into something, you really need to push back like that. Sometimes you're cutting something really heavy or thick, you know, and you want to grip it back here, and so you can really do that. You can get a little traction here to hold it as you're pushing, so the knife doesn't slip out or anything, or get stuck in there and pulls it out of your hand. So you got traction here and here. That helps you to push through that cut, right? Just like if you're doing a push cut this way, sometimes pushing like that with the thumb helps, and sometimes you want to push hard like that, especially if it's like a really thick piece of cardboard or something, thick piece of plastic, what have you. Because this looks like a knife that should be for hard use. When it locks in, it locks in pretty good. Yeah, it locks in pretty good. So, and blade's still in pretty solid, so I do like that for sure. I saw Love Them Knives take his apart, and these were really locked in there well. I don't know if it was just Loctite 242 or something heavier, but they really locked it in there, which is going to make this interesting when I do try to center this, right? See, now look at that. It looks like it travels a little bit. Like at one point it's centered, then it's not, and then it is. Now it's still left. To me, it's still left. Just a little bit. It's not enough to drive me totally insane if I'm going to make this a user beater kind of knife, but still enough to be a little bit annoying, right? But very cool. I do like that. I like that a lot. I like the ergonomics on here. Very cool. Yeah, nice. Like a little chamfering here as well. Give you a nice cutaway. It is a little bit sharp right there, but it's rounded enough. I mean, I might just buff that out just because that's just, see, is it sharp enough? Is it sharp enough to scrape my nail? I don't know. Sometimes even the G10 can be sharp enough. Yeah, so you can see it scraped the nail a little bit. It's just sharp enough there. That's easy to do. I've done that on some other knives. I don't have one out here, but my Lander had a cutaway and I wanted to round it a little bit more, and it was barely like, you know, just a bare cutout. So I rounded it and it made it really nice. And I prefer that personally. And that's just one of those things. If you have a knife that's yours and you want to modify it, you can. You know, just realize it's your knife. You do what you want with it, right? Now, if you're reselling it, you just have to realize if you do that, somebody may not like that, and they may not want that, and therefore you could lose value in your knife. And some people may love it and think it's awesome, and you may gain value. It all depends, right? That's why some people who are professional modifiers, you know, modders, like the knife modders, when they do their stuff, it's friggin' amazing. It's just really awesome, and I would love to get them to do some stuff, but you know, they know what they're doing. They've done it for a long time, and so, you know, it's different, right? All right, so here we have, looks like a screw pretty flushed here, but this one sticks out a little bit more than the other one. I wonder if that's in there all the way. Well, just for fun, since we are still doing the unboxing and first impressions, that's all this is, by the way. It's just an unboxing, first impressions. This is a T8. T8 right there, you see that? So let's see if these are T8s. Yeah, those are T8s. Okay, T8s. Let's see, is the screws here T8s? Yeah, those are T8s. Now, I'm curious, is this a T10? Nope, it's not a T10. All right, so what do I have here? This is going to be, what do we got? T15. Let's see, is it a T15? Okay, yeah, it's a T. It looks like it's a T15. Might have a little room. Might have to try something a little bit more. It looks like it's a, and it is a torque screw. So, looks like it's a T15. It's definitely not a T25. Yeah, this is. I have this on my iMamba and my. I have it on another. Oh, it was on the. So iMamba primarily. I had a Heretic Wraith temporarily. I had to return that one, unfortunately. The quality control on that was just wasn't great. Very unfortunate. So, anyways, yeah, very nice. As you can see, the action I think is pretty good. I like this. This is similar to their OTFs, right? That's got good traction. It's easy to work. I like that. And even with gloves on, you can just squeeze that together, right? That works really nicely. So you can close it and then open it, close it. Definitely have my finger on over here on the clip so I get a good traction. Thumb flick works. And this one, you just got to make sure you get your finger in there, get a good, nice flick presentation. Very good. All right, so I think we talked about most things that I look at in an unboxing. Let's do a nice close-up here so you guys can see the knife. If you want to focus in on this, we'll go up to the blade here. See, make sure we're focused. You can see that. It's M390. See that? Yeah, and let's look at the handle. Let's look at the inside here. Make sure we get the light on there. And we'll look at the back spacers and the RAM lock up here. You can see the spring that's in there. All right, let's look at the back side here. With the clip and everything. I like that. It is captive pivot. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, very cool. Nice little knife. All right, that's my first impressions unboxing. Hey, if you guys have any questions about this, anything you'd like to see me do or you want to like to see me go over during a first impression, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any questions about the knife, maybe for the review, let me know as well in the comments. And also, if you have any questions for me or the channel, please let me know. I do try to reply to them all as much as possible. For sure, as long as the channel is still at the size it is, I can still mostly do that, and I do try. So if you have any other questions or ideas, suggestions for Rob's ramblings or future reviews or videos, let me know. I'd appreciate that as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. I really appreciate that. You know, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or just informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to grow, to be able to do more things, have more content, and I really appreciate that. And if you've done all of that, maybe consider hitting the notification button below. That way you can be notified of future content when it does drop. And if you haven't checked me out already over on Instagram, please do check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's again on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.